Hi, so I haven't scripted this video mostly because I didn't make the time for it, just being honest. Anyway, hello. Yes, there's a chair here and I'm sitting on the floor because it makes more sense to sit on the floor, right? Just saying. Just gonna get straight to the point. Stop apologizing unnecessarily. And even if you have apologized, you can take it back. There's been times where I've literally stopped and I said to the person, wait, why am I saying sorry? This is not actually my fault. And they're like, yeah, no, it's not your fault. Sometimes taking it back can actually just reclaim that bit of, not power, but like self-respect in a way. And apologizing is not a bad thing, and you need to apologize for things if you have done something wrong. Just stop saying sorry when you don't need to. It might seem insignificant at the time. It might seem like it's not going to affect you very much by just saying a word, but the truth is it can affect you so much. And not only does it affect you, but it affects the way other people view you, and then subsequently the way they go on to treat you. Yes, my hair is on the other side now. How did that happen? Magic. But yeah, the way that I'm implying that it affects your self-worth and your self-image. By the way, this is not informed by science. It probably is somewhere, but I didn't do any research for this video. I'm so sorry. I'm just talking from my own personal experience because I'm constantly apologizing for things, and I'm so much better at like controlling actually what am I apologizing for now. Depending on the situation, it can reinforce the notion that you've done something wrong, and even if the person's like, oh, why are they apologizing? Like, to you, you're kind of adding these like micro bits of guilt to your body. Again, not everyone's as sensitive or emotional as me, but I'm guaranteed there are people out there who are relating to this apologizing thing, because I know that I've spoken to people about it, I've seen memes about it, I know it's a thing, but it's about like really just remembering how this can affect you. So yeah, this is why I'm talking about it, because I relate to it so much and it's really important to me, and I hate seeing people do it because when I do it, I feel like shit after. The reason I feel like it affects me and the way other people view me is because when you apologize when you don't need to, it can make you look weak. It can make you seem weak. It can make you seem like a pushover. And if you're around the wrong people, they will take advantage of this. If they see that that's something that makes you kind of squirm and like makes you feel weird or feel guilty or something, they could use that to play you and to make you feel more guilty and more weird about certain things like throughout your relationship. I feel like when you take control of this seemingly very small thing, it can give you more control over yourself and how you react to things, and also the shame or guilt you feel, which can have a huge impact on the anxiety you feel in your everyday life. And it can have a huge impact on the relationships you build, and it can have a huge impact on attracting people who won't do that to you, who won't make you feel guilty, or who won't want to see you squirm. Constantly apologizing for things that you don't necessarily need to apologize for, it can diminish your self-worth to yourself and also in the eyes of others, and they can use that to their advantage. People are cruel, you know? I've seen it happen with other people. I mostly have been analytical of the situations I've been in and seeing these things happen to me. Now, I am thinking now, oh, was I just overthinking? Like, none of this, I've just like overanalyzed situations. But I feel like sometimes I need to give myself a bit more credit and like trust your gut. Yeah, you should trust your gut. Obviously, try and reason with yourself because sometimes you might be wrong, but don't always dismiss yourself and tell yourself, oh, you're just overthinking, you're wrong, this person is not trying to take advantage of you, because they could be. And by you basically gaslighting yourself, they have even more advantage. Like, for example, yesterday I was going through a door and this woman was trying to go behind with like a couple kids, and I think her partner was holding the door open, and then she went fast and like put the pram into me. It didn't hurt anything, I was fine, didn't mind at all. But I turned around and went, oh, sorry. And I'm like, after I was like, why did I say sorry? Like, and it's so not deep. Like, what happened wasn't deep. But when I said sorry, it made me feel weak. It made me feel like, oh, am I just going to apologize? And people just like walk into me or like, and like, no, they're not saying sorry. They're not saying sorry and they actually did something wrong, which makes me so, it's just like, why? That's what annoys me the most, because I'm saying sorry and I'm doing this to myself, but the person who actually did something isn't saying sorry, and that's fine, that's their business, whatever. If they want to be rude, they can be rude. If they want to have no manners, they can have no manners. But why am I apologizing for something they did? So dumb. And I think that it's so important that you take this into your relationships with people, like especially your personal relationships. So as like a little exercise, if you want to practice not apologizing, when something happens and you're about to say sorry, when you're about to say sorry, just stop in your head and think about, do you genuinely want to apologize for what just happened, or what has happened, or what might happen? Is it a cue for you to apologize, or are you just reflexing this word? It's a reflex. Like, someone says something to you, you just apologize straight away. Take a minute. If you, not a minute, obviously the person's just gonna be standing there like, you okay? Just take a second and just think about whether, that wasn't a fart, by the way, that was my foot rubbing against the floor. If I farted, I would tell you. What would I? Yeah, just take a second and just think, like, is this something that I need to apologize for? Think of other ways, like other things you could say in response. My aunt told me something really good ages ago when I was younger. This has been such a bad thing for me, like such, not a bad thing, it's fine, I'm human, but it's been such a consistent habit of mine. And she said something that would be fucking useful if I knew what she said, because why am I even telling you this if I don't know what she said? Just gonna give you some of my own examples. And I think this is what my aunt told me, so I think it does make sense if I put it into context. So this is the example. Someone's given you something to do, or you have a project or something that you need to give to someone, or you haven't got around to it, or things have piled up and it's just not happened. You get in contact with them, phone, whatever, over the face. So you're speaking to them. Instead of apologizing and being like, I'm so sorry, this is, I'm sorry this isn't done yet. Whoever's watching this, I'm just picturing that you respond to things in the same way I do. You could simply say something like, thank you so much for being patient with me. I will have this to you as soon as I can. I haven't forgotten about it. It's happening. But yeah, it will be with you soon. Kind of turning the sorry into a thank you, because you haven't done anything wrong. Yeah, turning the sorry into more of a thank you, instead of demeaning yourself by constantly apologizing and making yourself seem lesser, like you're not good enough, or you haven't done a good enough job because it's not to that person yet. Yeah, someone says to you, oh, this is wrong, or like, oh, you did this wrong, you missed this out. Instead of apologizing and saying sorry, you could say, hey, thanks for pointing that out. Is there anything else that you think needs improving? Or is there anything else that I've missed that, or let me know if there's anything else. Thanks. I appreciate that. You have to say thanks like 10 times like I just did. Oh, God, I'm being so nice. I'm giving an example. I'm not even talking to a real person. Anyway, I want to give you maybe a couple more examples from like more personal life. So I struggle with the guilt of not seeing my friends and family enough. But I think that's part of a wider issue. Thinking everyone's gonna die. But yeah, so I have this like guilt of not seeing my friends and family enough, and I feel like time goes by so quickly for me. Like I would have think that I'd seen someone like 2 weeks ago, but really it's been like a month or more. So yeah, that's something I really struggle with, and I think this is where I frequently apologize. An example, I messaged my friend after weeks. We met up. A few weeks go by, maybe a month goes by, maybe more. Obviously, I have choice over what I do. So if I want to just chill on my own, that's respected, and my friends would always respect that. And, vice versa. I don't know what it is. Time goes on, they message me, or I message them and I'm like, I'm so sorry, like I haven't been able to meet up, over apologetic about it. And, you know, on their end, they might not think anything of it, but within myself, I'm building this idea that it's always my fault if I don't see someone or meet up with my friends or something, or even my family. So to them, it might be like, oh, it's fine, like, you know, that's just life. But to me, I'm telling myself this story and I'm reinforcing this story that I'm constantly like struggling and I'm constantly trying to see people when I can't, or, you know, I should feel guilty that I haven't made the time and that I'm the person that is not making time for people, which is so not true. And if someone does feel that way, you know, within their right to tell you that. But in reality, I think people always know that life gets busy. The over apologizing feels like, one, it feels like excuse making. It feels like I'm making excuses, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I was so busy, I had this. But in reality, I don't even owe them an explanation unless they ask. So fine if you want to give an explanation to people. Actually, that's something I'm going to talk about now as well. I'm trying hard. I'm trying to ease away from this approach. So now if I message someone we hadn't met up in a while, I'll be like, oh my god, it's been so long, time has gone so quickly, you know, when can you meet up? Or actually, it's not a great time for me to meet up right now, but let's talk again. So not apologizing, and not making it seem like it's your fault to them or to you, even if they do or don't believe that. I love how I'm just saying all these things because I'm literally like, I do all these things. I worry about all these things, and it's not silly because it's real emotions, but hopefully I can learn something from my own talking about it. This is how I want to be. I want to be better, which is why I'm sharing my experiences with you. So yeah, the other thing I just want to quickly talk about, I could also just make a whole other video about this, but explaining yourself and trying to justify things when you don't need to. Just an example of what I mean is, like, at the moment, now if someone asks me, oh, are you free on this day? I used to say, no, sorry. I would say, sorry. No, sorry. I have this, and I would be tired to do, I would be too tired to do this, and I have this, and the next day I have this, so that's why I can't come. And now I just say no. And I think part of the reason why I would over-explain is because I constantly feel like I'm saying no to people and I feel guilty about it. I feel guilty that I'm not giving them my time. And at the end of the day, I've just tried to remind myself that my time is my time. I should do with it what I want to do with it and what I've chosen to do with it. I don't need to please other people. So if I am saying no and it's just by chance I'm not free that many times in a row, that's fine. It's so fine. And I know it can feel like you can feel guilty because you feel like, oh, they think maybe that I'm saying no because I don't want to hang out with them or something. But, you know, it's your time and sometimes you have to be selfish in these situations. I don't even think it's selfish. I think it's necessary to be able to live and to not have so much of a burden on you and your mind all the time. Like, it's your life. What is the point in saying yes to things that you don't, one, genuinely can't go to, can't make, or it would be stressful for you to try and accommodate all these things into one day. Maybe you've dedicated that day for some time to yourself, or you're trying not to drink, and that activity is going to involve you drinking. Again, if someone feels like, oh, are you not hanging out with us for a certain reason or me for a certain reason, then they can bring that up with you, and then you can have an adult conversation and tell them, look, this is what it is. I know it's hard. I can't just be like, stop, and you're going to stop, but try so hard not to over explain yourself and justify every action that you do. It's not necessary, and again, it makes you look weak and it reinforces the story within you that you basically are out to please everyone. Over apologizing and over explaining yourself, it's hurtful to your soul and it brings you more anxiety because you sometimes go to these actions because you believe it's covering you on all bases and no one can be mad at you because you've said sorry, and because you're, you know, sorry, and oh, this is why I can't do something, this is why. Like, there's always a reason why. In reality, all it does is feed other people what they want, and maybe they feel like they have right to make you apologize, or the right to know what you're doing. But actually, most people don't even care about that anyway, so you're just doing it for no reason. But if you're unlucky, you might come across someone who wants to drain you in that way, whether they realize they're doing it or not. So don't give them the opportunity, and protect yourself. Saying sorry is an intimate thing, in my eyes anyway. Telling someone what you're doing with your day, with your time, is also quite intimate. So just be careful, just be mindful before you speak, and make sure you're telling people things with the right intentions. I think you can also apply the over-explaining yourself to work as well. Like, I used to come up with like elaborate lies because I felt guilty for taking annual leave or time off. And I felt like if my lie wasn't specific enough, they would be like, oh, why are you taking this? Come back in. Which is, they wouldn't, but some workplaces do that, and I think that's fucking evil. So if you need to lie, just lie. I think I'm rambling now, so I'm going to end this. The moral is stop over apologizing and take a moment before you apologize to make sure, is this really what I want to say right now and to this person? And secondly, stop over explaining yourself and respect the decisions you make for yourself, and don't feel like you owe people something when you don't. Sometimes you might, it depends on the person, it depends on the situation, but you're smart enough to figure out when and who you owe something to. Anyway, I'm ending this now because it's sunny outside and I have the day free, so I'm gonna frolic in the sun.